All right, so then you moved back to the Bay Area. I love how we're kind of going through your musical history, but we haven't really touched on prior to when we met in San Jose, where you lived in Davis.
Yeah.
Uh, Anything worth of noting up in that realm?
Well, I was,
Tennis team with DJ Shadow.
I did play tennis with DJ Shadow because we went to junior high together, and he was a really cool guy. But we didn't really reconnect, or we didn't stay connected or anything. We weren't that great of friends, but we are connected
Went to a
now.
party at his house.
Yeah, no, I do. I do see him a couple of times, a couple of 5 times a year. He's up in Mill Valley, and we have mutual friends, so we end up at New Year's parties and Fourth of July parties together and that kind of thing.
That was quite a fun Fourth of July party.
That
I
was, yeah.
remember being like quietly kind of tripped out by it. Like whenever you meet people that you admire or you kind of
Yeah.
look to as a hero, for my overall thought has been like you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable comfortable by immediately coming out the gate like everybody else does, like, oh, sign this napkin or whatever silly thing like that. And so here I am, like in DJ Shadow's house having a 15-person barbecue party with him, and then I look over and there's Jack Dangers from Meat Beat Manifesto, and the whole time I'm going like, this is so cool, but I can't say anything. I don't want
I
to.
know, just trying to play it cool.
Yeah. And I did to the very, very end. And then I was like, hey, Josh, I want to say thanks so much for having us here. And I didn't mention this before, but, a big fan of your work. And it's just cool to be able to hang out and get to know you a little bit. And at that point, he wouldn't even let me leave. He was just like, oh, yeah, well, let me show you this. Oh, you like the Verve? Well, this is when I did that thing with Richard Ashcroft. And, you know,
Yeah,
stories about touring with Radiohead and all this other stuff. It was
amazing.
a great guy. Yeah. So,
Nice guy. He's actually a really quiet guy, so that's cool that he
yeah,
opened
I
up
know.
and did
Still,
shit.
I remember playing his like a stand-up Dig Dug video game. It
Oh,
was back in the South.
I
We were
love Big Doug.
going back and forth with Dig Dug for a while. It was fun.
You get more bang for your buck with the Dig Dog. I thought that was a
Dig Dog.
Big Dog. You can I did say Dig Dog though. You can make your quarter last with the Dig Dog. I always thought.
Yes. Right? Back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, all right. So we're back now we're in San Francisco again.
Well, yeah. So I was to go back to Davis because, it was mostly like the biggest thing for me musically was I was taking piano lessons and I was in junior high and I was sort of like not wanting to learn the things that they were teaching me, but I didn't want to stop playing music. And my parents said, if we buy you a keyboard, because we had gotten rid of the piano, they said, if we buy you a keyboard, will you play? Will you keep playing? And I said, yeah, I'll definitely keep playing. So I got a nice, weighted key, full size Yamaha electric keyboard.
Cool.
And with the purchase of that, the person who sold it to me was a UC Davis music student, a wonderful woman named Jenny, and she agreed to give me 10 lessons with the purchase. And those lessons, I said, I just want to learn, some blues and jazz scales and some improvisation. I didn't want to go through the same route of memorizing the entertainer and things like that. So she showed me the blues scale and the jazz scales and had me just kind of make stuff up. And that really is what sent me on my way to like being more of a songwriter and a composer and writing my own material were those 10 lessons. And just to kind of being treated like an equal, even though I was, in early high school at the time and she was in college. It just felt good. But I did have a couple of bands in high school that and I had one in junior high. The first band was called, what were we called? I know one was called OPM, and I didn't even know what opium was, but I thought that word was cool and it was rock and roll.
I bet your parents didn't.
No, they did not like that at all. But it stood for overpressurized marshmallows, is what it was.
Oh,
OPM.
I would have figured that out if you
Yeah,
had.
yeah, anyone could figure out that acronym. But we were terrible. I was playing this, big keyboard, and we were doing like covers of like Kiss, Dr. Love, and I'm singing, and my voice hasn't changed yet, and I'm playing this little keyboard like "Call me Dr. Love," and it was just
Too
awful.
bad we don't have video of that.
Oh, thank God we don't. But I will say that
I know today's generation is going to be like, damn, man, everything is recorded. At least we had anonymity. Back.
yeah, but that was the first time I was in a band, and after that, I just always wanted to be in bands. I loved it. I loved the kind of connection of creating music with other people, and how the end result is bigger than the parts involved, and it just was it just started me on that path, and I've just always been in bands since, just always wanted to be. So
That's a cool story. I like the presence of Jenny as like an early music mentor, if you will.
yeah, she was great. And it was just like she's like, if you're gonna buy this keyboard, yeah, I'll throw in 10 lessons. And but it was really my dad that set that up. He was like, why don't you throw in 10 lessons with his little bargaining, bargaining power or whatever. And it really was ideal. And then having that keyboard, I will say the other biggest thing when I was younger that really got me going and connecting with the keyboard and with music in that way of creating my own music was getting grounded for like a whole summer for doing some dumb thing, as a freshman. It was the summer before uh, my sophomore year, and I was grounded for the whole summer. No phone, no TV, and so really it was just me and the keyboard for 3 months. And since then it's just that was really what created the significant relationship with.
Lockdowns can be helpful.
And you know what? They have been this time too,
Take
actually.
class, people.